Welcome to Introduction to Communication and Journalism, BA Complementary Course. Chapter 1, Fundamentals of Communication. We discussed the different definitions of communication and elements of communication in the previous classes. Now, we discuss types of communication. In the types of communication, the first one is interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication. So, communication that take place within an individual is called interpersonal communication. The individual functions here as source and receiver. The same person, he will be the source as well as receiver. That means it takes place within a person. That means it includes reflection, contemplation, meditation, our inner monologues, our reflection upon ourselves and our relationship with others and with our environment. So if we talk to ourselves, if we speak to ourselves, thinking, meditation, reflecting, and everything will be come in this category. That means it is intrapersonal communication. Sorry, here it is intrapersonal, not interpersonal. Interpersonal means between two persons. It is interpersonal. Intrapersonal means intra, within. That is the meaning. Intra, within. So if we talk to ourselves, meditating, reflecting, thinking, and everything will be intrapersonal. And something we feel inside our mind, that also come into this category. So intrapersonal communication occurs when we think, feel, meditate, as well as when we verbalize to ourselves. When we are sitting alone, we will talk to ourselves. When we are alone in some particular circumstances, we will ask for some solutions. We will ask something for getting, and we will ask to ourselves. And all these things will come into this intrapersonal communication. And thus we create bridges of battlements. We make connections or sever them. We open ourselves up or establish self-defenses, and everything will come in this category. So it is called intrapersonal communication. And the second one is interpersonal communication. This one is first one, and the second one interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is face-to-face communication between two persons or more in close physical proximity. That means not in the virtual or whatever it may be. It takes place within two persons. Within two persons means within two individuals. face-to-face communication. In other words, interpersonal communication describes any mode of communication, verbal or non-verbal, between two or more people. Verbal or non-verbal. Verbal means orally talking, orally, understand that. Non-verbal means with the gestures, our body movements and everything. And it is considered the most efficient types of communication. This one is considered most efficient types of communication, and this communication between two persons is also known as dyadic communication. Dyadic communication. Dyadic communication. Dyadic, D-Y-A-D-I-C, dyadic communication. Interpersonal communication is vital to every society. In every society, interpersonal communication is very important. That means life is meaningfully sustained by the pulsating beat of interpersonal communication that takes place all around us, including in our homes. That means if any problems arises, we will talk others and solve the problems. Personal rivalries as well as social problems can be solved with this skill. That means if we are not talking to other persons and other persons are not talking to ourselves and everyone is keep silent, then the problems will arise and more. And that's why this type of communication will help to resolve the problems if it is very big also. When when two countries are face or are in phase of war or edge of war, they can solve with sitting. Both of the leaders or the leaders can be sit around the table and solve the problems and or sitting near us. And these all the things, although we need other people to communicate, the mere presence of others does not necessarily result in interpersonal communication. Sometimes when we are sitting in a public place or standing in a queue or we are sitting in the bus, always the other people will not talk or they will not listen. Interpersonal communication is a dialogue or conversation without intervention of a machine like telephone. So if I am talking through the phone, it will not be interpersonal communication. If we are talking by telephone, it is known as mediated communication. That means technically mediated interpersonal communication. And normally interpersonal communication means in the physical proximity only happens. If two persons are there, they will talk each other or they will talk face to face. At the same time, if they are making the video call or making in a or talking by phone, it is not interpersonal communication, but at the same time it is called mediated interpersonal communication. That means mechanical or technical. Understand that? It is called mediated. Mediated means here the mediation is telephone. Understand? So mediated telephone. So a telephone conversation or internet chatting between two individuals is an example of such mediated communication. So we must know it is total communication as it takes within its purview of words, body movements, physical characteristics, clothes and even body odors. That means some kind of physical characteristics may be happening. Understand that? Without speaking also interpersonal communication happens sometimes. And the next, focused and unfocused interactions. So what is focused and what is focused and unfocused interactions? That means focused and unfocused. focused and unfocused interactions. Focused means, according to Irving Goffman, in his work Behavior in Public Places, argues that most interpersonal communications are of an unfocused nature. That means if you are sitting in a public place, or if you are sitting in bus, or wherever we are in public, wherever, that means not inside, or we are not concentrating on some others' conversations, then it is taking as unfocused one. When we are in a market, when we are in class, or when we are in the other places, we will not listen others' conversations also, but they will normally talk each other or something. So it is unfocused. When we are standing in the bus stop or railway station or airport, wherever it may be, unfocused conversations are happening sometimes. It's an activity we indulge in when we are people watching, without their being aware we are doing so. That the other person don't know. Some persons are listening as they are doing as usual, talking, understand? And at the same time, focused interactions are it is quite opposite to unfocused interactions. It results from an actual encounter between two persons. That means both of them are focusing each other's conversations. The person involved are fully aware that they are communicating with each other. Both of them are communicating each other. That means they listen others' words and responding to it, because they will be very much aware of that they are in the conversation mood. Understand our conversation. Sitting or standing face to face, either close to distant, they know fully well that they are exchanging both verbal and non-verbal messages. So, 3 stages of interpersonal communication that we are discussing now. First one is a casual stage. What is casual stage? The casual stage means the initial exploratory stage. That means we will address some other person, hello, good morning, or namaskaram, whatever it may be. It is a simple way of addressing some other persons. Understand, sir? The accompanying gestures are meeting of the eyes, smile, everything will come into this casual stage. That is A. A only at first step. A, casual stage. Casual stage. And then the B is personal stage. Personal stage. What is personal stage? Personal stage means the second stage called the personal stage. Introduces more personal element into the conversation. There will be something in the previous section, that means in the casual stage they will address only good morning or something, a few words only, but at the same time the personal stage, during this period we are prepared to shed our inhibition and ready to share our feelings and impressions. We will say something that we are going to introduce this subject or whatever it may be, or what we will say some other persons. Then and that means we are likely to talk about personal matters such as one's profession, family, health problems and the like, or something. And the next one is C, intimate stage. Intimate stage. Intimate stage. In this case, the stage is reserved for close friends and relatives. It's closed for the relatives and friends. The degree of intimacy depends upon the closeness or the relationship. If we are very much close to some person, we will disclose something to other person, and if they are very much close, we will disclose, or we will be more frank to other person. And if they are distant, we will not we will not share much to them. That means it's a stage when social barriers fall and we are at ease. Interpersonal communication achieves its highest form, and in this case, interpersonal communication is in the peak stage. That means in the intimate stage. And next stage is group communication. And group communication, and next one is public communication, mass communication. These points we will discuss in the later videos. That's all for today's class. Thank you.